Here we are going to discuss about the microwave engineering. So this subject is useful. Some they have in third year, someone having in final year. Okay. So both the electronics and communication engineering students, this subject is very important, and you get some questions in the GATE exam as well as here. We'll see that how you can score the maximum in university exam also. So microwave. So here if you see that from the school days, you are seeing about different range of frequencies. So on the basis of range of frequency, what we are going to use, on the basis of that, its name is given microwave. So name is the micro. So that means you are talking about, if you talk about the wavelength and if you talk about the frequency, so these frequencies are in the gigahertz. So first of all, we see that how this subject become more popular. Okay, what are the various applications? Those things we are going to see here, like it is used in the radio astronomy, for the long distance communications, space navigations, radar system, medical equipments. You'll talk about like magnetic resonance imaging. Then we have missile electronic systems. These are the various wide applications of the microwave in the different fields. That's why this become more popular. And still, if you didn't subscribe our channel, please subscribe it and share with your friends. And we have separate playlist for the different subjects also. So after that, we are going to see the frequencies. So it has wavelength in the range of 30 centimeter to 1 millimeters. So frequency is 1 to 300 gigahertz. So 1 means this is also 1 gigahertz to 300 gigahertz. Again, if you see the country wise, so different country have different range of the frequency they are using. Like in the USA, will have different, in India, will have different. So different countries having different little bit changes there. What they use for the like for the defense communications, for the normal or different applications. So it has wavelength in micron range. Okay, so that's why its name is the microwave. It is up to infrared and visible light regions. So when you'll see about the spectrum of light, so there you'll understand where microwave is going to lie. But all overall in the world, we have IEEE standards that is being followed or accepted by worldwide. So here, if you see that we have different range, this range are given in the gigahertz. For the high frequencies, this is 0.0032 to 0.03. Again, we have for the very high frequencies, then we have ultra high frequencies, and these are the various bands in the microwaves. Okay, L, you want to remember, you can remember LSC, okay, LSC X, Q, K, Q, K, K, LSC, okay, X, Q, K, K, like this you want, you can remember this range, this bands in the ascending order of the frequency. Okay, so now here you can write, remember like lower court, Supreme Court, like this you can make some correlation. Okay, again this is X and Q, K, K. So L band having range of 1 to 2 gigahertz, S band is 2 to 4 gigahertz, C band is for again here 4 to 8 gigahertz, then we have X band that is 8 to 12 gigahertz, Q band that is 12 to 18, K band we have 18 to 27, K band that is the 27 to 40 gigahertz. These are the most popular band of the microwave. Below that, we have millimeters, that is 40 to 300, and some millimeter is more than 300 gigahertz. So these are the difference. Sometimes maybe objective question also you'll get from here. So These bands, you should know the range of frequencies, especially LSCX, KUK, Ka. Okay, level to remember. Next, we have how this microwave device came in the pictures, how they have started in the olden days, how, like, if you see, even nowadays, we are using the digital TV. So before digital TV, we have CRT, before that, we have vacuum tubes. Similar way, advantage development takes place in the microwave devices also. So here, if you see that in 1930, they have vacuum tubes. So vacuum tubes use the concept of electron transit angle, and we have inter-electrode capacitance and lead inductance, okay, that appear to limit the operation. So here, due to this limitation of this vacuum tubes, these vacuum tubes are not suitable in microwave range of frequencies. Since we have here inductance, capacitance, all this, okay, so we have to change the values again. So many concern will be there. Next, again in 1935, A. Hell and O. Hell, two scientists, says that it can be generated by using the transit time effect with lump tuned circuits. In place of vacuum tube, they are going to use the lump tuned circuit. Again, they are taking the transit time effect. Later in 1939, W.C. Horn and G.F. Metcalf has given theory of velocity modulation for microwave tubes. Now, microwave tubes came in the picture in 1939. Later in 1944, R. Kaufner's has given the concept of helix type traveling wave tube, that is also called as the TWT. So in the later stage, we'll have some topic based upon the helix tube. And in 1961, B.K. Ridley and T.B. Watkins, and in 1962, C. Hilsums, they predicted that transferred electrons effect occur in gallium arsenides. So gallium arsenides are the compound semiconductors. So later you'll see that how we are going to get the gun diode and all these things. In 1963, J.B. Gunn reported gun effect. So this is the common characteristics of microwave solid devices. So that is the here negative resistance. So negative resistance means if voltage is increasing, current is decreasing. Okay, suppose here we have current, this is the voltage. Voltage is going to increase here. And if you see that here, current is going to decrease. So that's why it is called as the negative resistance. This region is called as the negative resistance. Might we have studied in the UJT. And so this negative resistance is being used for the microwave oscillation and for the amplifications. Okay. And again, we have this transit time based and avalanche transit time device has established more important classes of microwave solid devices. So these are the how development takes place and microwave device came in the pictures. Now one separate question maybe they will ask you about the microwave systems. Maybe we have laboratory setups or the normal setups. With the help of that we are going to see. So if we'll talk about any communications, so the basic building blocks of any communication system is what? We have transmitter, then we have channel. So this channel wired, wireless. Okay. After the channel, what we have? Next we have receiver. These three are the basic building blocks of any communication systems. So similarly here, we have transmitter subsystem. So transmitter subsystem concept of microwave oscillators that's going to generate the microwave, like we have Keystone mount or we have gun diodes. Then we have waveguides through which these microwaves are going to propagate. And last, we have transmitting antenna in the transmitter section. In microwave communication, if you see that, at the distance of every 50 kilometers, they are going to use the repeaters. And for the microwave communication, we require the line of sight. So transmitting antenna, receiving antenna, both should be aligned in the same line. Due to that, at every 50 kilometers, they are going to use the repeaters. Okay. This question is important. Sometimes objective questions in the competitive exam also. Apart from the transmitter subsystem, next what we have? Receiver subsystem. So in between we have channels. So we have wireless channel. So in the receiving subsystem, first part is what? Receiving antenna. That's going to receive. And again, after that, it is going to propagate through the waveguide. That is also transmitting line. Then we have microwave amplifier and finally receiver. So if you are studying a normal communication system, so modulation, all these things takes place in the transmitter and demodulation takes place in the receiver side. So here, if you see this final block diagram here, so in the transmitter sides, we have microwave source, then we have wave meters, then we have calibrated attenuators, okay, and here wave meters, sometimes we have frequency meter, all these things are there. And before wave meter we have like isolator is also there, and here we have transmitting antenna. So generally horn antennas are used for the laboratory setups. Apart from this, we can have parabolic antenna also. So for the antenna also, separate lecture is there in the playlist, and it is being transmitted. Again, in the receiver side, you see that you have receiving horn antenna. Then we have here, this is the power meter. Here you can connect the VSWR meter also for the measurement. And here this is the waveguide termination. And this is the crystal mounts. Here you can connect the probe and you can connect with your DSO in the laboratory. So in the general setup also, if you see in the lab, okay, you will have here microwave source. After microwave source, we have isolators, okay, so that wave will not retard it back. And again, after isolators, if you see that here, we have slotted line section. For the laboratory, if you see, slotted line section. On the top of slotted line section, you have tuner. Okay, from also you can see the output, we can see connect the probe also. After that, we have, you can connect here, so matched termination. And before the slotted line section, after isolators, here we have frequency meter also. So this laboratory setups are different, but theoretically we can draw this block diagram and you can explain how it is going to work. So transmitter part and receiver parts. Apart from this, for the different experimental setups, we have various microwave components, like we have resonators. So we have rectangular, we have circular, different types of the resonators are there. Similarly, we have different types of the cavities, rectangular cavities, circular cavities. Rectangular cavities are more popular. Then we have microstrip lines. Then for the junction, we have three different types of the T, E-plane T, H-plane T, magic T. So these are discussion we have detailed in later. Then we have directional coupler. Then we have circulator. All these are the basic microwave components which is being used to obtain the different setups in the lab, as well as it is being used in the communication. So this lecture is going to discuss what is the microwave, what we have seen, what is microwave applications, and how these microwave systems are going to work, and what are the various bands, microwave frequency bands are there. That is also important. So from here, very important question is about microwave systems and microwave frequency band. Please write your opinion in the comments, whatever, anything you want, another questions also, time to time, you can write in the comment box. Thank you. Thank you very much.